layers of frequency and bringing those energies into your chakra system. This is called initiation. Again, most people on the planet are between the 3rd and the 5th level. That's generally where most people are. The human beings that are, I would say, are the 3rd dimensional beings that have not had their awakening process yet are still cut off at their spiritual body. There's a literal membrane and an impalement that prevents us from accessing our higher spiritual selves in our 3rd dimensional consciousness. So most beings are working with these 3 energy centers. And when you are incarnated into the 3rd dimensional realm, as all of us were, we come in operating with 3 centers. These are potentially able to be activated, but they're not activated when we were born here. So it becomes a process of our experience and evolution, our destiny, our soul path. As we move up the chakra column, this is a part of our liberation from the 3rd dimensional system. So again, most of the beings on the planet are in the 3 centers. The beings that are in the Ascension wave at this time are utilizing 4th, 5th, and some 6th, but I would say most beings are in this area. They're moving into the heart center, the first spiritual body, and moving into the throat. Then you will start to find your jobs start changing when you're moving into the throat, because this means your spirit is saying, no more going back to 3D. You have to speak your truth, and we're going to make you speak it now. That's actually your own spirit saying that, and that's the key to your liberation. But if you find yourself shifting and changing in what you used to do and nothing working, and it's really starting to shut down right now, you'll find the doors to start closing and you're not really clear why. It's because it's time to speak your truth. So your spirit is going to put you in positions where you can do that. And again, this is where we're on a need-to-know basis. The faith and trust comes in, because as you know, Spirit doesn't work on a linear time cycle. It works on a divine time cycle, and that's in the moment of now. So that means your consciousness must be here now. There's no use planning. There's no use strategizing. You're just in a situation where it's time to surrender and to be a vehicle of divine force and to serve that to the best of your ability. And when you really hold that in your intention every day, this invites the spiritual masters. This invites incredible, amazing beings of light to your field. They are attracted to that energy. So believe you me, we have a ton of help. But we just need to interact with these beings and have some fun with it. So again, most of us are at that particular level of our evolution. So back to the electromagnetic field spectrum, when we are connecting into, let's say you're at the fourth chakra, and you're moving into the 5th. What's happening now is you are being initiated into 5th dimensional current. Okay, it's a frequency, it's a plane in reality, it's a place where you have an identity, your 5th dimensional identity exists there. You are starting to integrate and anchor that level of identity that you are at the 5th dimension, that frequency quality into this chakra in this identity as a personality, right? So it's kind of confusing. We're integrating higher aspects of our identity, our God self, into our physical form here. That's what the Ascension is. We're actually descending our higher identity structure, our God self, into our biology sphere. So this is called initiation. When you go through initiation, there is a conductance that occurs. You have to think of almost like 2 nerve synapses connecting. And new nerval plexuses actually get built so that you can actually conduct these new frequencies. So when you're initiated into these these are frequencies your body hasn't been operating with. It's going to feel a little strange sometimes. You may, in terms of electromagnetics, it's almost like getting plugged into a socket all of a sudden. And when you get plugged into the socket, you may have some electromagnetic or radiation type of symptomology. This is vertigo, dizziness, feeling like the floor is wavy. Like I've been having a lot of this. People feel like they're on a boat when they're walking. This is because the rhythms of your brain are getting shifted, and this is very electrical in terms of how that happens in our biology. So there's an electrical transference that occurs with these particular frequencies, and then your biology now attempts to process and integrate this new energy into the proper centers that is designed to work with those energies. So as you're bringing that energy in, again, that is initiation. And then as you go through a period of time, this period of time will be used, and again, it's different for everybody. You can work with the energies if you want to go fast, so you can be proactive and you can work with it, or you can just let nature do its course too as well. I'm definitely a proponent, be involved, because it will be smoother. If you understand what's going on, if you understand where the energies are coming into your body, you can circumvent potential blockages. You can circumvent all kinds of things. You can ask your healers to come in and help you handle things so that you don't have to have any downtime. It really makes it so much smoother and easier for you if you do that. So again, the body after it's initiated starts accreting and absorbing as much of that particular frequency as it can hold. So say you're working with your fifth dimensional energies, you're starting to bring in the blue wave spectrum. You see a lot of blue around you. This again is your fifth dimensional self and frequencies. We're drawing in the energies into the throat. You're starting to also tap into the mind matrix of your identity at the fifth dimensional level, which gives you a whole new level of intelligence as well. And so your body starts now, your fifth dimensional body, light body, starts bringing this energy in, this blue frequency. It's almost like filling up a tank of water. So you see your body, there's an actual place that exists. These energies are coming in and filling up to their capacity. And this is how we move up the ascension column. So you're accreting that energy, and when your body says, I've had enough, then you're done. What happens is you go through activation. That means that your body is holding as much of that frequency as it can hold. And now it's time to move on to the next color spectrum, the next chakra, the next identity. So when you're going through your initiation process, you'll find there are particular lessons or things that will show up in your world that deal with these new energies. And this is to help you master the new quality of energy, these new attributes, the new physics that you're now working in starts to now give you opportunity to have more experience with those particular lessons. So again, that is the absorbing or accreting phase. And the last part is the activation. So the activation generally signifies a DNA activation. Generally, an etheric nadial upgrade is given because the etheric natus, or nadial system, is the part of our body that conducts the frequency. And again, so much why I'm talking about electromagnetic fields, because it is. That's what's happening to us. We are conducting frequency and bringing it into our bodies and anchoring it in. So when we activate, generally, you will start to have new senses, new awarenesses. Things like, you may all of a sudden start to see things in your periphery. There's somebody standing there. Maybe you didn't notice it before. Maybe you'll start to see colors sweeping off people that are walking by that you didn't notice before. So you'll start to have a fine-tuning or a different level of awareness. And it could, of course, depending on your biology, your lineage, and your soul agreement, it'll be a little different. There are some general senses that happen for all of us as we move into the higher identities. And there are some of us that have had massive lifetimes doing certain things, and all of a sudden we'll have an access to that point of our being. In the fifth dimension, if you were some amazing alchemical magi or something, you might all of a sudden get these new tools and gifts showing up, and you're like, wow, what's this? So literally it also brings with it the gifts of who you were or are in the simultaneous time of that particular lifetime. And you learn to, again, work with these new tools. So that's kind of a fun process with that too as well. So that is the initiation, accretion or absorption, and the activation. And very important to understand as a part of our genetic path cutting, but also that's our ascension process in a nutshell. And again, something at times we need to remain aware of so that we can protect and give our neurological system and our brains what we need to function.